to the next city council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Fair.
Second.
Councilman Constant.
Present.
Councilman Figueroa. Councilwoman Fonseca. Councilwoman Day. Councilwoman Rivera. Councilman Torrance. That's one present.
Thank you. Roll, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Thank you. Couple of changes. Without objection, I'd like to move the hearing on the Tropicana Lounge up first, as we have the police officers here, the colonels here. The Tropicana. And also tonight we have quite a few licenses, entertainment and others. We have no meeting in August, so we have a lot of people sitting in the audience that is involved with trying to get a license, entertainment, or a restaurant. So we want to move without objection all the licenses up. Then we will go to the public comment, approval of minutes, etc. without objection. The first order of business would be the city council acting as the board of license. With that presentation, I need you to talk regarding the Tropicana.
Only thing I just called is present. This is the city council sitting as the board of license commissioners, and it's item 3, hearing, consideration, and possible action regarding the following licenses and license holders. James Salazar, doing business as Tropicana Nightclub and Restaurant at 134 Howard Street.
At this time, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Officer Charles Walker.
Also, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Could you please describe what happened on the night of May 21st at Tropicana?
I was working patrol, and normally we go around, we do wall checks. I noticed that the Tropicana was still open, slightly past 1 o'clock. There's a large number of patrons still outside walking around the parking lot to the side of it where the tire shop is. There's a lot of patrons there as well, seeing them coming out of the bar. So I made my way inside. I noticed a large amount of patrons still inside, sitting around tables. There was 4 buckets of beer still on the tables, but they just ordered it. I began telling people to get out. As I went back outside, I noticed that there was a patron with an open beer walking on the sidewalk. I had to take the beer from him. Went back inside, I addressed it with the staff. They really just ignored him. He kept doing what they were doing. I had to once again tell everybody inside the bar was closing, and they needed to get out. A few of the patients had exited out the back door, and I noticed one of them was still carrying the beer walking out the back door. I had to make my way outside, confiscate it, come back inside, and continue ushering people out of the bar. It was probably around 1:50 at this point. I didn't notice any of the staff attempting to get any of the patrons out of the bar. So once I cleared out most of the patients from inside, I made my way to the lot next door in the tire shop. There was a male urinating on the side of the truck next to the tree outside. I had to tell him to please leave the area. There was still a large number of people outside. As I was standing there trying to get people out, there was also a male that opened the door of my police car. I had to yell at him, please close my door, and please get in my car. And I just had to continue ushering people out. While I was outside, there was multiple beers open that came from the bar, and that was pretty much it.
Officer, the Rule 18 of Department of Business Regulations, liquor regulations states that all patrons must leave the bar by 1:20 a.m. From your experience in the night of May 21st, were there people inside the bar after 1:20 a.m.?
No, because I had to usher everybody out. I don't believe that everybody would have left the bar at that time if I did not usher everybody out, due to the fact that there was full buckets of beer that people had just ordered that they were still sitting down drinking, which is at least 10 past 1 at that point. But I managed to get everybody out of the bar before 1 o'clock.
Have you had other experiences at this nightclub establishment?
I have in the past. It did get better, but over those weeks I noticed that the traffic in and out of the bar was pretty high and unusual compared to the previous weeks. So that's why I decided to go there.
And you witnessed firsthand people leaving the establishment before people made it stop home?
Yes, I did. Multiple.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Is there anyone else, Mr. General? Is there anyone here from Copper Mountain? Yes.
So I would like to ask you, while you were doing the job and the Tropicana bar, do you also by yourself or do you have another police officer helping you?
At that time I was doing it.
What is it?
Yes, later, after I was able to usher everybody out of the bar, another officer was able to show up, but I pretty much had everything under control at that point.
Thank you. Thank you. At this time, General, let's get some background. We've had problems before. Mr. Lozay, you have a question of the officer?
I have just a question. We hope that it's become a
They were notified,
Correct.
it's the part, the notification.
They were notified by mail, certified in regular mail, and we communicated with them by telephone twice this week, including today. Correct.
Colonel James Vidasa, Police Chief, Santa Claus. When I became aware of this, some copy of the report was to be furnished to the city clerk's office and the legal department. And I also had requested that Lee Fazikowski reach out to Mr. Salazar and have a conversation to see if we could work or submit a resolution in advance of it. And Lee Fazikowski did talk to him, and he seemed to be, I'm sorry, can you hear me? First time everybody's ever said they can't hear me.
This is a hearing, and I just want to make sure that it's recorded.
Okay.
Thank you.
So they had a discussion just recently about last call being no later than 12:45. Turn the house lights on and the music off no later than 10:50. The bar staff must not serve patrons that are intoxicated. They all need to be tip certified. They're all things that are instructed to him. Security staff need to monitor patrons that have been shut off by the bar staff. If there are incidents with these patrons, the police should be notified and will take whatever necessary steps. And security staff need to ensure patrons are not removing drinks from the establishment. All these things obviously occurred from the testimony from the officer. Mr. Salazar understood, he wants to, he's willing to comply going forward on this, but he understands too that these are recommendations to him, and this is not part of any sanctions that the council, acting with the licensing board, established. Last weekend, Mr. Salazar did voluntarily have a detail officer on one of the 2 nights. I'm not sure if he did Friday and Saturday. Again, steps he's taking, but that doesn't mean that the council can't impose further sanctions. As I've addressed before in front of the council on numerous times, that we don't have the staffing to police these alcohol establishments. There are more establishments than there are officers. They need to police themselves. Last time we visited with the Tropicana, there was a sanction imposed where there was an officer detailed there every other alternating Friday and Saturday nights. It would be my recommendation going forward for the next 3 months, that an officer be there on Friday and Saturday nights, both nights. And I would also, my opinion is to at least give a 1-day suspension at minimum, in addition to having the detail officer there.
Thank you. Jonathan, you have a question as well?
Yeah, sorry, Colonel, just a quick question. Can you give us an anecdotal report of how last weekend went with the police officer there?
Well, I wasn't aware of any incidents that transpired. That's always good news. So if anything bad I know about, if things go well, then I'm not informed. So I would think by having an officer there, I would think everything was done properly. I would suggest, though, also, is that Mr. Salazar does give you a list of all his employees and make sure that they're all tip certified, and no one that's allowed to work there doesn't have that information on the list. So we are all aware that they're trained appropriately with that. That's important. And he needs to be obviously more careful who he has there at the door entrance, making sure that he doesn't have intoxicated patrons coming in. Because once they come in to serve them, they're responsible. He has to understand that, and make sure, of course, no one's leaving with alcohol or beverage. Again, none of this was done. And that's the issue, is that all the people congregating outside attracted the attention for the officers to go in at that time.
Thank you. Marie?
Are they not allowed to work outside after the bar is closed if they're no longer drinking?
I don't think it's a problem with a few people that are congregating, as long as they're attracting attention to themselves. If this, I wasn't there. I'm speaking secondhand, this is hearsay, but from the information I gathered, there were quite a few people outside, they were intoxicated, and they were loud, and they attracted attention to themselves. If the officer didn't happen to be proactive and do something about this, undoubtedly we would have had a call for service to go there and respond to resolve.
So for the council, I went there Friday night, it was like 1:05. Everybody was out by 1. For the officers, everybody was out by 1. Nobody was being loud. There were a lot of them hanging out, but they were no longer drinking. Many of them were over intoxicated, so I have a problem with that. How do we verify, or what's the protocol for us to verify that these bartenders are licensed? And what can happen to their license if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing?
My understanding is that the establishment is responsible to hire personnel that are tip certified. That no one should be working there unless he is. And the onus is on the owner of the establishment. If not tip certified, then he's accountable. He needs to make sure, or he or she, whoever owns a liquor establishment in the city, make sure that his employees are tip certified. So I would suggest that he furnish a list. We have a copy of it. If anyone's working as a bartender that's not on that list, they have no evidence of being certified, then they won't be bartending. And if they are, we'll document it and we'll forward that information to the clerk's office and legal department to your attention.
So we're allowed to ask for this.
The council could certainly mandate as an order of the board that the establishment provide a list of employees with a copy of this certification, and the police department, either through detail or through random inspections and projects, to verify that only those folks on that list because they're certified are working at that establishment. The violation of that is a violation of the law. Is it clear?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We have listed here, consideration of possible action. I would ask first that obvious specific charges that the solicitor has, that we are acting.
The evidence brought forward by the police department is that, but for the action of the officer that the establishment would have had folks drinking alcohol in the establishment after 1:20 is a violation of Rule 18 of DVR's liquor regulations. In addition to that, the second violation is patrons being witnessed by the police officer taking open containers out of the establishment.
And if I may add, it's over intoxication as well. There's subjects there that should have been shut off long beforehand that were not.
Mr. Chairman, if I can just, normally in bit more hearing than I've attended in the past. The exact charges that a license holder would come before the liquor board on a show cause hearing. Those charges would be presented to them exactly, and in a show cause hearing, those charges are presented in a defense by the establishment that is offered. I do not know if I received those specific charges. It was sent in an email and not a document copy, so I asked the solicitor, were those specific charges provided in that light, what you stated, to us as a court and to the license holder court?
The Board of License Commissioner has an obligation to send the respondent, nightclub, a summons for a show cause hearing. That was sent out, regular mail, sent out, certified mail. The respondent received the communication with the show cause hearing summons, notifying him of the reason for this show cause hearing, and said that he was not going to attend. And he was totally heard.
I'm just asking, did he receive the specific charges that we have?
We are under no obligation to advance the legal argument at the Board of License Commission for the hearing itself. The hearing has now been testimony to the police department, based factual allegations, raising at least 2 charges against the respondent. He is here and able to present defense before the considers the factual evidence before you and makes a decision.
So the first charge, if I can get this straight, the first charge would be serving after
The violation of ruling with the regulations, but Department of Regulations. For the presence of people after 1 a.m.
1:20 a.m. And the second charge would be public intoxication.
Leaving the establishment with open containers of alcohol. The violation of state law. And the chief also added a 3rd violation of public intoxication, which is performance of social conduct.
That clarifies things, Chief. I do have a question of the officer, that's possible. Good evening, officer. You stated that when you arrived there, you saw a lot of people outside.
Yes, usually when that bar closes, it's a little chaotic out front just because of the narrow space that's in front of that business. So if you have people leaving, you tend to have a lot of traffic out front. And also when patrons are coming out, they're crossing the street and, hanging out in front of the business. So yeah, I observed a rather large group outside.
Roughly what time?
It was probably a little bit after 1 o'clock.
Did you go inside the establishment or you just waited outside?
No, I went inside. Sir.
You went inside first at 1 o'clock, a little after 1?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice anybody being served at that time? Or they just had liquor containers open?
What I specifically noticed was the room was filled pretty much to capacity as if we were operating at a normal time. And there was full buckets of glass bottle, beer bottles that were still full, untouched, multiple in the bucket. So I just assumed that they had just observed them because there was a group sitting around them at tables, not appearing that they were leaving at any immediate time.
So they must have been served prior to you going inside?
If possible.
Did you witness or did you notify, I understand you notified the bartenders that they had to be leaving the establishment? And that last call was already
When I began ushering people out of the business, letting them know that it was past 1 o'clock and they needed to finish up and leave. Many of them were not obeying any of the commands I was giving. A few people had left. So I had exited then to check the outside, and that's when I noticed one of the patrons had an open beer bottle walking down the street, which I had to confiscate. The time I went back inside, made the bartenders aware of the situation, and there wasn't one of them that addressed my concern or attempted to do anything about it. They just continued behind the bar, cleaning and doing whatever they did.
Was the owner present at the time, any time that evening?
No, I did not see them.
Did you witness people leaving with open containers of alcohol?
Yes, I did.
And you notified and you confiscated them then?
Yes, I did.
What time scale? You said you got there a little bit after 1. And what time did you call for assistance also?
No, generally I wouldn't call for assistance. It's normally at that time, every officer on the road is usually occupied at some sort of establishment if they're not on call. You know, on a night like that, generally you have to pay attention to the other bars in the city as well. So with the amount of personnel we have, it's hard to send multiple officers at closing when there's not an actual emergency or it's really not needed. Generally, I'm able to handle a closing myself when it's in circumstances like that.
What time was this? You said you got there a little after 1. Until what time did you disperse the crowd?
I can't give you an exact time, but I know I was definitely there past 1:20.
Council President, can we have the owner testimony so that we can come to a conclusion? A lot of the details are in the report.
Concerning the report, I would ask the city clerk at this time to enter the police report into the record. The report is 7-669. That is the police report.
I apologize, I don't have that. I came from a vehicle accident straight here.
There's no clerk, Mr. Salazar is here. Do you have a representative tonight, Mr. Salazar, or will you be speaking on behalf of your clerk?
Yes.
Thank you, officer. Mr. Salazar, you're familiar with why you're here this evening? I assume.
Mr. Salazar, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
Okay, we're talking about one particular incident on May 21st. The police officer, I wasn't over there that particular night, but my wife, she's the bartender, and she's the person in control of the bar. And she always tries, we never said after 1 o'clock. Nobody can say we tell the people after 1. And according to the state law, we know we have 20 minutes, so everybody has to leave the place. I had a meeting with Mayor Bartilovsky about 3 days ago, and I explained to him it's very, very hard. The people sometimes they hide the bottles in the pocket. How we can control, the bottles? We have a security at the door, trying to make sure nobody in the hands, they carry the bottles. So sometimes they hide the bottles. And I heard about the capacity, he mentioned about overcapacity. We don't have a full house over there. The capacity is about 445 people. We never have more than 80, 90, or 100 people. So I don't know what else I can tell you. We try, to control the bar. We know the bar is located in a very, very high crime area, which is Fletcher Street, Washington Street. We have a house, drug house in the corner that thanks to the police, it's no longer there. So we deal with a lot of bad people in the area, And always we try to help with the police. We call, you know, when we see something, we notice something unusual, you know, we call the police right away. I'm the person who called, you know, because I work in another bar, I have a problem. And my wife called me when she did assistance, I called the police.
Mr. Salazar, do you dispute on the night of May 21st that you had patrons in your establishment after 1:20 a.m.?
Well, probably, you know, they say, you know, but the situation is how we can take the people, you know, out, you know, carry the people and throw out the street.
Did you have a detail on that night?
No, not the same, but I have security.
And describe your security detail?
But,
Describe who that is. Who is your security?
well, that's a person from Colombia. We have experience, you know, we working in something, you know, the policeman.
Is that person tip certified?
You don't serve alcohol, you don't have to be sick certified.
The only reason I ask is that when you were before the board last year, you were asked to ensure that your security staff is tip certified and you agreed to do that.
I don't know. It's necessary, I'm telling to get the certification. There's no problem. I don't have problem.
Besides your wife, do you have any other employees working at the bar serving alcohol?
No, me or my wife.
Do you serve alcohol as well? And are you and your wife both tip certified?
Yes.
Councilwoman, anything?
First for the officer. Was there only one person bartending that night?
No,
No?
no, there was multiple people behind the bar. I can't tell you who was serving alcohol and who
No,
wasn't serving alcohol.
one thing is be behind the mannequin and 6 people, but not serving.
So can you explain why would you have more than one person behind the bar if they are not serving liquor?
Because they came, you know, to pick it up the bottles, you know. When the customer asks for the liquor, my wife serves the liquor and gives it to them.
And can you also, so I went Friday at 1 in the morning, and a lot of your patrons were over intoxicated. They couldn't even walk straight. So after a certain amount of liquor that they have, they should stop selling them liquor, especially if you're tip certified, you should know that. So I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, I agree with that, but, you know, I explained to the mayor the other day, sometimes, you know, these people, they already came, not intoxicated, you know, but some drinks, you know.
So if you witness that, right? If that's being witnessed, why do you continue selling them more and more alcohol? To the point that when they walk out of there, they can't even walk straight.
No, I'm talking about in the door, you know, we close it now, after I have the meeting, we do some changes, you know. Like, people, you know, they see, you know, they have already some drinks, you know, you're not allowed to come to the place.
As of when? Because I went there Friday night at 1 in the morning.
What's the style of the thing Friday? I don't know.
The reality is that it's your responsibility as a owner with a liquor license in the city of Central Falls to follow the law. The certification means that if you witness someone who is intoxicated, they are not allowed to serve anything. If it is 1:20, your bar needs to be closed and not have any patrons. You are not allowed to let patrons use bottles or alcohol. And that means you need security on staff. If your management can't handle that responsibility, you need to hire external folks.
Yeah, but what is the situation?
You
If the
can't,
people-
if you just say, throw your arms up in the air and say, I can't manage the situation, then it sounds like you're incapable of meeting the responsibilities of a holder of a liquor license. Those are the laws.
Okay. If the people refuse to leave the place, what can I do? Call the police?
Yes.
And then I have, the last time, I have a problem because they say you have 100 calls. You have too many calls. The police don't want to receive a lot of calls, so that's a problem.
Part of the issue in the police report mentioned that the staff wasn't cooperating that night of May 21st. So that's where it comes in, you know, like you said, that's a high crime area to begin with. St. Paul's is very small, so you have neighbors to the front, the back, upstairs. So you have to be very mindful when you have a bar establishment, because you have neighbors all around you, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's your job as the owner to make sure that people clear out. So even if that's calling the police to say, people are outside my bar, I need assistance, they would rather appreciate that than have people walking outside of the bar with open containers. So that's something that the security guard can do. If they're tip certified, to make sure that people are not coming into the bar intoxicated already, and when they're leaving out, set up a procedure to see if they have anything in their pockets coming outside. So I think my recommendation is to make a motion to have a police detail at Capitano for the next 3 months, Friday, Saturday nights, and also to issue a one-night suspension for this upcoming Friday night, if that's okay with you and the police department as well.
Well, this is different when you say according to the mayor, we have a meeting. We are calling, to have a, for the next month, alternately, one day a week. Now it's a different story.
So we tried that, and obviously it didn't work.
No, we tried.
The alternation didn't work, that's why the recommendation,
We just started.
Friday and Saturday.
We just started this Saturday.
Well, no, and just clarification, the mayor is not the board of license, so we're the ones that make that decision. That said, a couple questions about your establishment. Currently, what are your operating days and hours?
We operate 12 hours a week, from 9 to 1 Friday, 9 to 1 Saturday, and Sunday. 12 hours a week, that's it.
From
9 to 1.
9 to 1, Friday, Saturday.
For 4 hours a day, from 7 to 9 to 1. So if you guys want to punish the bar who operate 12 hours, nothing I can do.
During what time do you reach your peak, so to speak?
12, 11, 12, 12 o'clock. Depends, Depends, the week of the month. Middle of the month, that is more people. Beginning of the month, less people.
I only ask because you're getting creative with sanctions here. I wonder if instead of closing a day, you limit the time open and make it midnight for a little while. Because it seems like the longer folks are in there, the longer they're getting drunker, the harder it is for you to get them out.
I like to check, well, I think the problem also is security. If I recall, Mr. Sellers, I believe the colonel said that you had mentioned your own security, but you had the young gentleman here, and I think the colonel mentioned he didn't, nor most people didn't feel that security was qualified enough. There was some questions asked of him, and I don't think he was, I think the colonel would share that. We didn't feel your security was qualified. Therefore, we did go with the alternate. And apparently, your detail is not qualified. I hate to say it, but they don't say it's qualified. So, we tried that alternating, and apparently that didn't work.
What do you think this didn't work?
I didn't realize you opened that deep the time span every week. I think John was on the right track. My recommendation would probably be not to close you on that. However, I still think they need details Friday and Saturday night. Our detail, not your security. I don't know what you pay your security, it's none of my business, but you basically don't need them if our detail is there. That's all I think.
Well, I have to think about it, I may have to close it 2 days.
But I think you need Friday and Saturday detail.
Business, you can afford to have 2 days.
I mean, the city can't afford to have.
Having one officer, alternating, once a week.
Our city can't afford to have offices down there on weekends either. I mean, we just mentioned that there's a lot of establishments in the city, and I personally, I don't want to see our police tied up at these establishments, and they could be used elsewhere in the city, and God forbid if our rescue's down there, there's a problem, right? Glass, I don't want to see our rescue as any staff, not only yours, but I'm just saying in general, so if you're tying things up for a while, anyone else, and good recommendation, Colleen, but maybe we can lessen the burden for you.
Yes, Mr. Rosal, as we all say, we agree that unfortunately you just say that you was able to manage the situation in your establishment and so do your employees. And that the recommendation for the police chief to have it detailed is it's not permanent, it's temporarily. So you need to make you aware that it is your business and you got to take care of. Because if you don't, there's going to be a major problem in the future. For example, somebody walk up into your establishment, it is 11:30 at night, and they already drunk, and you sell alcohol to them. Doesn't matter how much they drink outside, you're going to be responsible. So at this time, it's important to at least for a period of time, 3 months, I say, to have it detailed, I don't know, 1 or 2 nights, that we definitely need to do something to address this issue and prevent it from happening again.
Anyone else?
First, a clarification. To the solicitor. This is a hearing solely on the events of May 24th. Is that correct?
It is.
What took place, we were not present at the last event that took place a year or so ago. Is that out of the record or in consideration and any decision making that we would take into account?
Yes, the Department of Business Regulation oversees all city and towns enforcement of the state's liquor laws. And what they tend to look at is whether a city or town imposes progressive discipline. In other words, is the violation of the law so outside the bounds of decency that you can go from 0 to closure? Or is it, as in this case, a repeated violation of a repeated offense? And so they look for progressive discipline, where in the first instance you go from 0 to 10, second instance 10 to 20, 20 to 30, etc. And so what the DBR would be looking at, based on the action you take today, is the discipline that you offer in line with this being the second offense of a non-murder, non-capital offense type violation of the law.
Since we were not a council or liquor board for the prior offense, which I have no idea when, you mentioned last year, what was it and what were the sanctions?
It was May 9th of 2016, and there was serious fighting inside of the Tropicana that resulted in 2 men being transported around the hospital, one with a head injury and a broken orbital. Patrons being in the bar after 1:20, patrons leaving the bar with alcohol on them, open containers, and security not being properly controlled situation and not being properly credentialed. The board found violations of state law and ordered police detail for 5 months, starting on May 20th, every Friday and Saturday night from 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. with the review on October 12th, 2016. My understanding is that review 5 months later came back clean.
You mentioned about the person living inside. It doesn't happen inside the bar. It happened on Washington Street. And this person is suing the state of Rhode Island because I'm helping him to fight to the victim of crime. That doesn't happen in Tropicana. Tropicana don't have any incident inside. What I mean,
That matter is now closed, but we did hear testimony on that day with those 2 individuals originated from your establishment, and there was, that the fight started inside of your
But I have a copy of the police report, I can send it to you. I have the name of the person, the name is Santelli, last name. He was assaulted, excuse me, he was assaulted on Washington, not inside the bank.
Mr. Solicitor, from my understanding then, we can use the prior offense as a reference. But we are only discussing the action taking place on May 21st.
That is correct, Councilman. You look to the prior offense to guide the penalty if not the finding of fault.
I also asked for a clarification, Councilman Acosta mentioned the mayor. Since the liquor board was established in the 1930s, the mayor has sat on the liquor board. I know as mayor, I sat on the liquor board, and the mayor has always been a member of the Board of License Commission Liquor Board. I don't know, I've raised this issue in the past, that according to law or precedence, the mayor has always sat on the liquor board, and I'm not sure of the justification of him not serving now during his administration.
I can answer that. The ordinance does not call for the mayor to sit on a liquor board. We went over this, Mr. was there. The makeup of the city council is not called, for example, for a chairman of the liquor board. We are the liquor board. The city council, we are the licensing board. As far as precedent, but it's not in our charter. We're following the charter for the team, Mr. was there. So let's put that to rest now. Let's move on. We have three, if you're gonna start saying about the makeup of the board, the mayor does not have to be
I'd
here.
like to get that in writing, Mr. Chairman, because I have never received it. The mayor,
writing?
the liquor board is a separate entity than the Board of License Commissioners. I don't want to raise that issue tonight. This is something else before us, because it was raised by Councilman Acosta, so I'm
Councilman,
clarifying it.
I issued you a legal opinion about this. City council sits the board of license commissioners. There's no such thing as a liquor board, not in our charter, not in our code. I issued you a legal opinion earlier this year on that matter.
Council President, I had a motion on the floor.
That's correct. We have actually three choices. One is Colleen's motion, closed one day, detailed for 3 months, Friday and Saturday night, that being our Councilman Acosta.
I'd like to make a separate recommendation. Taking into consideration what Colonel just said, I feel that having someone on detail Friday and Saturday is stretching our already limited human capital resources in the police department. Really. It's concerning to me that they won't be able to respond to other calls, and I wonder if, given our conversation about peak time, but also about how things get essentially progressively worse, people get progressively drunk, if we change our recommendation to be that, because you also brought up a point which was, if he has a police detail, then he doesn't have to pay a security guard. I think that is a terrible idea and not good logic. Because what it does is it makes us responsible for holding their hand and administering their business. That is not our business. Our business is to keep our city safe. And so they need to figure out how to close on time, how to check people for alcohol, and how to monitor themselves correctly. As the Colonel said, they need to police themselves. So I would move to recommend that they have to close at 12 for the next 2 to 3 months. We can hash out the timing and demonstrate that they can close at 12, have everybody out by 12:20 before they have a right to continue being open until 1.
Colonel?
I just want to speak, I agree with everything that Councilman Acosta said. I'm not sure if you're aware that the detail would actually be additions to new staffing, and the owner is responsible to pay that detail officer directly. So it doesn't affect our minimum staffing, or the above and beyond what we have on the road. Just want to make sure it's aware of that.
So, address Colleen's recommendation, I believe close one night and have a detail Friday and Saturday for 3 months.
Can we ask the Colonel?
I think his recommendation was what you said, basically.
That's correct. My original recommendation was that there is some validity possibly closing earlier. Understanding though that that would obviously be a financial detriment to the ownership. I don't know if we would be able to sustain that substantially closing as well. So maybe somewhere in the middle, we can do that maybe for the first month of the 3, or however you want. I think it's for you to decide, but my first recommendation, but it does, I understand what Councilman Costa is saying, that maybe if the reduction of the hours, maybe it's the first month, and then go back to 1 a.m. as long as everything, there's no issues. The biggest problem is, and as I mentioned before, is that we don't have the staffing to police these establishments. They have to learn to police themselves with our assistance. And I think maybe the combination of all 3 recommendations together maybe could be beneficial in this case. Although this instance is not as egregious as it was last May of 2016, we do have to show some type of progressive discipline going forward, because once we relinquish the security back to the establishment, they're not able to maintain that. We'll document, we'll come back before you, and again, it'll be more of a recommendation of closing the bar and altogether, repealing their license versus me requesting to put a detail officer there. And I think that needs to go on record.
Thank you, Chairman.
Is Sunday not a problem? Why do we need to put
Yeah,
Sundays
that's
and
a
not
good
Monday?
point. If we have any chance on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, which is probably one worse than the other, I can't go.
Whatever, decision you make before,
Thank you.
It's just common throughout the city, and historically, in my experience here, that Friday and Saturday nights are much busier, and those are the nights we normally have problems.
For a second, that's you got a motion in place to close the clock. Would you consider to extend it to 12:30 and then your motion? In fact, the business opening at 11 and close that early is like still business. And I guess Mr. Salazar from now on, you're gonna learn that you gotta take care of this business and make sure that the people that you have been working with him are properly trained to handle the situation without the police have to go there. I think that as the police was stating before, there was no application, nobody was arrested or anything else. So you handle it. So it's just like, let's see what Councilman Costa wants to do.
So under your motion, they would not have police detail, or they would not? If they have police detail, they can stay open under my recommendation, but if they don't, they should close early.
Wait, your plan doesn't have police detail?
Yeah, but right now, my feel, like I mentioned before, is us doing their job for them. Or them paying a police officer to do their job for them. I think we should give them an opportunity to demonstrate that they can do their job. But it seems like you're overwhelmed. You said yourself, you can't control what people do. And I think until you take ownership of what people do in your establishment, that's a problem. I don't trust you, based on what you said. And so, I want to give you the independence to show that you can run your own establishment and have, potentially, like I said, have the colonel, maybe have someone drive by at 12:20 after they're closed, see if it's cleared up. I agree with the colonel, 3 months is maybe too harsh, so we could go a month on the earlier closing time and then hear back from the police. I also am going to be honest with you, I don't appreciate the attitude that you said you're going to appeal any decision we make. So I don't have sympathy for the 12:30 meeting.
Councilman Costa, what if, part of the plan, I agree that they need such, police detail. What if part of the plan is to come up with a security plan? But then, like, when he comes back 3 months, to give us a detailed security plan moving forward. But I think that's the biggest issue, sustainability, and figuring out how you're gonna do this on your own. So what if we added that into the motion?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, something as simple as, the fact that you have, according to this police report, people exiting out the front and back doors. If you're saying it's difficult to keep track of what people are walking out of your bar, I suggest only having one exit.
We can, the reason we don't call the police, ask for assistance, because like we mentioned before, they need to protect the citizens. But in any case, I can call the police every minute and say, hey, people don't want to leave the place.
You don't have to call them every minute. One phone call at 1 o'clock, if the patients are not obeying what you're telling them to do, is enough. You don't have to call for every individual.
Mr. Sellers, when do you take the breakdown? Are you happy with the security you have, not counting our police department? You said you have your own security, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Let me put it this way. A year ago, when we had the security over there, was very, very helpful for us. Because we had a problem with the drug house in the corner. And a lot of people, they came in and out of the place. In practice, the police, they clean it up.
So yours was helpful with your
I'm not against
around
the police.
the police security provided, their detail was, you were happy with, or with your own security, or both? Because we tried this for 5 months, I believe,
Yeah.
and apparently it worked. And now we withdrew the security provided by the city. Now you're back to having problems. So there seems to be a connection when you do have security provided by, or through, Central Police officers. Seems to work. Now we pulled them off a few months ago and we're back to square one here. So obviously our security worked. And that was alternating Friday and Saturday, one Friday.
I don't have any problem.
You don't have a problem. The way it is now, you don't have a problem. If we went back to the way it was 4 months ago, you would be happy. Try it again.
Well, not really happy because, according to the meeting I had with the mayor last week, we are supposed to have, one alternate, 1 day a week. We have no problem just to have an officer over there once a week.
So let's get creative then with our recommendations, right? Again, I don't want them overly relying on this. I understand why having a police presence is useful and supportive for them. So I suggest 1 month them having it closed early, no police presence. The second month, we go back to the regular hours, and we can alternate having the police present once every, one of the days, either Friday or Saturday for a month. And at the conclusion of that second month, which would be our meeting in September, they would have to submit to us their comprehensive security plan.
During the rest hours, it's like the killing, the business. The business will open 12 hours a week. It is forced to open 9 hours a week. It's better to close.
We're trying to help you, right? We're trying to help you to make it better for your
I'm
establishment.
trying to explain the situation, We open 8 hours, 12 hours a week.
So what is your recommendation to us?
No, I don't recommend, the mayor suggested and I approve.
But the mayor has nothing to do with it.
I can live with one officer, every Friday or Saturday, they can have it there.
I would like to second Councilwoman Fonseca's recommendation. I think it's better to have a police officer for 3 months. We tried this 5 months before, so it was working. So let's try 3 months and with a political officer. I would like to
But it
second.
was working, Councilman, but it was working and it stopped working once the police detail was no longer there.
They want a police detail. He's recommended a police
I
detail.
actually like to amend my motion to include the security plan. So, yeah, after I'm gonna amend the motion to include the 3 months Friday and Saturday police detail, with the 1 night suspension, in addition, in 3 months to come back with a full security detail, plan for how you're gonna run your business in the future.
Can you say something for this?
So Friday and Saturday night, you're gonna have the police detail, 1 night suspension, and in 3 months, when you come back to the council, you're gonna present us with a security plan.
So on
For your
the
business.
top of the detained officers, you're gonna put suspension.
Yeah.
I have no choice, I have no choice. Whatever you decide is right for me.
have a motion by Councilman Fonseca, second by Councilman Figueroa. Any further discussion? I should be thank
I think, I mean, we are requesting a lot. I mean, 2 day police scale, plus 1 day suspension for the business going for 12 hours a day, I think is very, very good. I will support it. John?
I don't see it as a hard thing. Do you really think, this is from, you know your numbers, I don't know your numbers, that it will cost you less to stay open till 1, and to pay for a police officer 2 days a week for 3 months than it would to go 1 month closing 1 hour early?
I don't like the idea of the suspension a day or a week, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
I don't think, it's too hard, That's right, I came to this meeting without any legal representation because I told we already have an agreement. That's why I mentioned to you I'm going to appeal because, I need my lawyer to appeal to the Department of Business and Regulation.
Okay, but that's completely relevant to my question. So again, do you think the cost, which cost do you think is greater? Paying for a police detail 2 days a week for 3 months, or closing 1 hour early for 1 month?
Going to the hours that is still illegal.
Okay, you're not answering the question. Which one will cost more?
All right.
Council President, I actually, I'd like to, change my motion again. This is the last one. So I move to have a police detail at Tropicana for the next 3 months, Friday, Saturday nights from 9:30 to 1:30 a.m., 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Next 3 months, police detail, with no night suspension, so you wouldn't be closed. And after the 3 months, you come to the council with a full security plan.
You know, you seconded it, that you withdraw the 1 day, suspension. Would make a new motion.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order. My understanding, we're still in public hearing. We're making motions while we are still in public hearing. We're questioning both the police chief and also the owner. I would recommend that we close public hearing before we take any motion or any recommendations to discuss the motion to council.
That's public hearing, that's testimony from the police department, get testimony from the owner, that's not public hearing. We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing a roll call vote. You want to read it back if you wish?
It's a motion to require police detail on Friday and Saturday nights from 9:30 to 1:30, 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. And submission of a security plan after 3 months. Councilman Furr?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Yes. Councilman Rivera?
No.
Councilman Rivera? No. Councilman Suarez?
No. Motion passed. Any others? Councilman Clark?
To maintain the business open from 9 to 1, and have police there at 1 night, either Friday or Saturday.
That's what they had last time. So they alternate.
1 night.
Right, that's what they had last time, they alternated 1 time.
So-
Either Friday or Saturday, so that's, yeah, that's exactly what they had last time. It worked for a while, but then when the police detail was no longer there, his work to keep before us again.
Council President. And, last year when he came, it was for 3 separate incidents that happened. Between March and April, there were 3 separate incidents, that were included in the police report. And we suspended that, we had the police detail for 5 months. So if we're not giving a harsher punishment to our business owners, then they're gonna keep repeating and doing the same thing. So that's what I'm scared of, just giving them a slap on the wrist and thinking that it's gonna get better. Right? We need a plan, we need a security plan, because if not, this is just gonna continue happening. It's gonna disrupt his business, and it's gonna disrupt the residents around it.
But remember, you are punished business just for one particular incident, May 21st.
So we have a motion
It only
by
takes one incident. That's it.
Councilman Solano, do we have a second?
The only incident, the public people, because we have the courtesy not to bother the police, because before, like I mentioned to you, was, you have a call, you may hold the call. That's why we don't want to call the police.
They're there for public safety, you should call them.
Do we have a second on Franklin's motion to just have a detailed one night? Hearing none, seeing none, the motion dies. Is there another recommendation, Councilman Acosta?
Can I just ask Franklin a question? What motivates your shift from 2 nights a week to 1?
Because of them to have the police detail, it will have the business day only open, like you say, 12 hours a week. And then we should give them the opportunity, or give them the opportunity to have the police detail one night, and Mr. Salazar must be, he's aware of what's going on, that he knows what his business is right now at least. So he should be taking full responsibility for his business. Hopefully he don't come again for any other particular issue.
Chief, is there a minimum amount of hours to have a police detail? Or will it only work in the 23 hours? Or?
The minimum would be 4 hours. If you give me detail rate now, I think it's what, $45 an hour, right? So it'd be $180 per night.
And, Council President, I think, to Franklin's point, I think trying to give our businesses a break, he's open 12 hours a week, right? If it's about money, you can open 40 hours a week. You can open 80 hours a week, however many hours, right? He's choosing to limit to 12 hours a week. It's a privilege to have a business license in any city. It's a privilege. They cost a lot of money. And it's a privilege to serve. And you have to be responsible when you're serving alcohol. Because at the end of the day, if something bad happens, it's his responsibility. Somebody leaves there and gets into a car accident or something happens, it's his responsibility. And I think we need to put that onus back on the owner. Because it's their responsibility, not the city, not the police officers, but the owner's responsibility.
The only reason why we open 12 hours is because we are next to food.
You can serve food. There are different things that you can do
I
to.
want to have the man, office not doing full hours. That's the reason.
Business of that nature in the city or outside the city, most of them open Thursday to Sunday. They don't open Monday, Tuesday, they don't open every day, and that's at night. That's the nature of that business.
And it's to make it that much easier to patrol. 12 hours. 12 hours.
Another way we could go is, go the rest of July and August with detail Friday and Saturday. And try September with just one night. Because month and a half with 2 police officers Friday and Saturday, and then a month of August, September, go with one police, one night. So the rest of July and all of August, Friday and Saturday, police detail. Month of September, just one night, Friday, and we'll waive the, that Friday night.
In that plan, I would like the plan their plan, their security comprehensive plan at our September meeting. No plan, no switch back to 190.
That's fine. That's good one. I make a motion that, I suggest it, so someone may.
Franklin, how would you feel about that?
I feel that his business has to be more, he must be more responsible on his business. We agree on that. And he got to take care of business and make sure after the police detail is no longer there, that he's going to take care of his business. I guess, so as the officer was witnessing before, he went to the place, there was, beer, sell, anyone was selling a phone and he was there. But nobody did suspect him, no, there was no application, nobody was arrested. And what happened in the past, it should be stay in the past. I mean, he paid for what happened before. This is a May incident, and I feel like, yes, he needs to have a police detail. But if we want to put a police detail, instead of put it 2 months or 3 months, let's close the gap a little bit to give them the opportunity to do what we have to do. And like Councilman Acosta said, he has to come with a plan our September meeting. But his motion is 2 months or 2 nights?
It's actually a month and a half.
A month and sound good to me. Month and a half.
Rest of July, in August, then he comes before us in September to see if we continue or not.
Month and a half, I second.
So don't even mention September. We'll go July and August too, and then September comes, we'll take it from there. Perhaps September you won't even need Indeed. Please. I'll make the motion. We have offices Friday and Saturday, rest of July and all of August, and then the September meeting, second Monday in September, we'll have a report from the police department, how things have been, and we'll take it from there. And a plan, absolutely, and a plan.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
If there's a weekend in September that falls before the next council meeting, will there be a detail officer that weekend in September?
No.
I don't
I don't think it'd be necessary. Well, it's up to you.
Why don't you move to the switch of 1 to 1 is one officer on one of these. I know that they have a gap week and nothing.
Well, you could have until that.
No, we just said,
I thought not, I guess, I think it was September, what are we looking at, maybe September 10th is our meeting, or 10th. So we, September 11th, so we're going almost 2 weeks in September. Whatever your pleasure is.
May I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
We're going to go for the 3 months. You don't have to renew in September. Go for the 3 months in one office.
No, we tried that one night.
the other thing, sir, is, you know, and I can't emphasize this enough, this isn't about punishment. This is about you coming up with a plan to run your business. I care about the plan. You have a goal to run a good business, but a goal without a plan is just a wish, baby. And so I want to see a plan. If you show me a plan, I don't care about the details, to be honest with you, because then you have a plan for how you run your business. And so you're just thinking about consequences. Think about the plan to fix the problem.
But I'm proud not to run the cleanest business in the city of Central Coast. Drug-free, any criminal activity, because my reputation, my friend, I published a newspaper for 40 years. So my reputation went because of anything. Now I'm trying to run the business. So my ability.
Yeah, we have, so I'll amend it to go right through to our meeting. So the 2 weekends in September, you have to have details Friday and Saturday.
The motion on the table is for police details to be provided from 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m.
starting Friday, July 14th, running until September 9th, with a mandatory review of the performance of the establishment at the next scheduled council meeting in September, which will be Monday, September 11th at 6 p.m.
And a plan in place. A plan in place by the administration.
For the record, they start already last Saturday, July 15. I don't want to start the 14th, already started last Saturday.
It's gonna be until September 11 anyway. So that's not if it started last week or this week. It's gonna be in place on this September 11.
No, I'm trying to tell you, what he said, it started the 14th, you already started.
I'm going to amend that to the 21st, I believe it's Friday. Give it time. Okay, what does that fall on that? 14th? This Friday? Yeah, this Friday.
No, I'm trying to say
What he's
that
saying is that
last week I
we
had
already
it
have
already.
police details, so we're just.
For this Friday? Oh, okay, fine.
Last Saturday, I think.
Okay, fine. That's okay. We have police detail there for this Friday?
Last Saturday.
Friday?
Mrs. Salazar voluntarily put a detail in place last Saturday.
Okay, I did not know that.
The discussion we had with Buzz Hartley, yes.
That's good. Fine, thank you. I did not know that. Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Who was it?
Point of order, I understand your motion, but as a chair, you cannot make a motion for the chair.
Motion was seconded. Did you second that one? All right.
It was.
Helen?
I move to have a police detail at Suffolk County for the next 2 months from 9:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Until starting this Friday, July 14th through September 9th. And then you'll come back for the September 11th hearing with a full security plan moving forward to secure your establishment.
Thank you, Helen. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman Rivera. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Rivera?
We've discussed this a lot, Mr. Salazar. I tend to agree with Councilman Acosta. The issue more so important to me is how you operate your business. Seeing that the incident that took place on May 21st, it happened by the police officer coming by. There was not a police report, there was not a police call, there was not a disturbance in the community, there was no phone call, but the police officer did witness some irregularities that took place that you need to address.
write that?
Mr. Albert Manos.
Al Romanowitz, 303 Central Street, obviously in Central Falls. Speaking on the same subject that I talked about the last couple of times, probably a couple of others, about the monument at the library. And I'm not, the thing that I've been talking to veterans all over the city, okay, right? And basically, I get much more positive reaction to it than anything else. But the problem I had, and what I wanted to address tonight, at least from my perspective, is some of those veterans, it wasn't just a few, basically told me that there was something going on around that the reason that we're trying to get rid of the monument is that we want to sell the building. Okay, the library wants to sell the building. Okay, now, I can tell you up front that that's never been considered. Last year, okay, I just want to run through a few things. Last year we put a 40-year roof on that building. Okay, cleaned up the carriage house. There's an art program in it now. There'll be more programs going into that building again over the course of the years. This year we put a new heating system in that building. We're going to repair and replace all of the windows, repaint the building. And we're going to reconfigure the handicap ramp access to the building to create more public parking. It doesn't sound like we're selling. Okay? We're trying to get that building in shape so that we can create everything that we need for programming, both out of our schools, out of our community service organizations, and individuals. It includes plans for things like maker spaces. So. Last comment on that is that the board that created the charge of the capital for the Adams Trust is in charge of the capital for the library. I served on that board until it was dissolved and combined with the current board. I am also a member of the current board. There has never been a discussion, okay, about selling that library. I just want to let everybody know in case you've heard it. Okay? It's obviously not true. The real reason that we decided to talk about moving that monument is the same reason that it was created. And Mr. President, the City Council President, Lee Matthews, who's a former mayor, Tom Shanahan, a former director of ours. Okay, they're the ones who were instrumental in getting this thing done. And it's a great one. If you don't notice it, you should go over and take a good hard look, because basically it's a hell of a monument. And the reason for that monument at that point in time, right, since I was around when it was done, and this is a quote, I forget where I got it, was to honor the Central Falls residents who sacrificed their lives to protect and preserve our country. And that was the real reason, for this thing. And it's the same reason why we want to move this monument. Okay? We didn't have a suitable place to put that monument for that one up. I believe that's part of the reason why it's at the library. Okay? I don't want to get into another part with the Central Falls Museum. Right? I don't want to get into that. But it was logical at that point in time. At this point in time, we now have a Central Falls Veterans Park. And the reason we want to move it there is because of the fact that it is a great monument. Okay? It serves the same purpose that it has all the time it's there. It's just going to get more visibility, right, of this, at that place. And that should be the place where we showcase this monument. So it's the same reason. Nothing's changed. And all of the veterans that I have talked to actually support this thing. But I haven't talked to anybody who says definitely no. And by the way, the other thing, the cannons are coming back. Everybody understands that the cannons are coming back. Right? The reason those should be there, right, is to recognize the service that the Post gave the city for I don't know how many years, right? When the property was overtaken, we got custody of those cannons. The city got custody of the cannons. And basically what we want to do is to recognize the fact that the Lefebvre Post enabled us to do that as well. At the time, some kind of dedication. So those two were the only two things that we're looking at. Okay, we're putting in front of that, so that everybody can see it, everybody understands that it is a central goal of this problem. That's all I have.
Thank you, Rob.
Chief Bradley.
Good evening, councilors. I know it's been a long night. I'll make this very short and very brief. I'd like to extend a formal invitation to everybody in front of me and everybody in the audience. Next Wednesday evening is a very special night for the fire department. We're going to be formally swearing in our 3 brand new firefighters who not only continue to make the department younger, but also continue the way we are diversifying our department to better serve the population that we serve. All 3 individuals are bilingual. They are in the very last week of their training. They've actually been split up for the first time since March 28th, when they were a group of 3, started and graduated from the first municipal fire academy. So they were actually assigned to their shifts in their last week of training, getting ready to be officially sworn in. So you will see them out on the road. They are working with the regular firefighters at this point in time, and we are very grateful and very blessed to have the newest members of our department. The last thing I'm going to talk about very quickly, and I talked to Council President Ferry about it, is a program that I am very well associated with called the Honor Flight, which has to do with veterans. It does seem like not many people know about it, but it's quite a fabulous program. It's designed for World War II and Korean veterans at this point in time. It's through the Rhode Island Fire Chiefs Foundation, which I am on the board of directors. It is a day where veterans are taken down to Washington, D.C. to their monument. They are treated like the heroes that they are. We're trying to get the word out. It does not cost a veteran a single penny to go. They have a guardian for the entire day, which stays with them. And the word is, if we're not within elbow's range, we're too far away. We go to their monuments. We go to Arlington National Cemetery. We have a fabulous dinner, and they get treated a hero's welcome at P.F. Green when we leave, at BWI Airport in Baltimore when we arrive, and on the way back when we re-land in the evening. It's a one-day trip at P.F. Green. If anybody has any veterans that they know might be interested, please just give me a call. I have access to all the applications, and it's just a matter of giving them. We get them filled out, we get them put on the waiting list, if there is a waiting list. And it's just a day that any veteran who's been on it has come up and said it's been one of the greatest days of their life. Because most veterans have not had a chance to go down and visit their monuments in Washington. And they do get, like I said, they do get treated like heroes. We have everyone from the Commandant of the Marine Corps who has come out, to General Colin Powell, who's been out there when we go down, to Senator Bob Dole, who's out there every single Saturday in his wheelchair, shaking hands to all of the veterans who go down. So it's just a fabulous day. If you know of anybody who's interested, please don't hesitate. Just take the phone call. They can call me, and I'll even go over and talk to them about it and bring the application. And I thank you very much for your time, and have a great night.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for the many times that you played flag fight at many events. In fact, thank you, Al, by the way, for mentioning how that monument started in 1999. I had you on video playing the flag fight. It was the first time.
It was.
It was unbelievable. You were excellent, and I will actually get the copy. They're now on DVD, and I thank you because I remember that very well. It was the first time, and since then, I imagine you've played many other events. I want to thank you. I know I did it in time, but I want to thank you again. This monument brings back you playing the flag fight.
Council President, that was the very first time I ever played. And actually this weekend I will be down at the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland for the Rhode Island Firefighter State Weekend, which I'm one of the assistant coordinators. And I do play at the memorial service at the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial on Saturday evening.
So, that was the first time.
I remember.
And I do remember it very well. I was never so scared in all my
As
life.
far as I know, you didn't miss the beat, as far as I can tell. I know. You did well. Thank you, Chief.
Chief, the story is this Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, the 19th at 5 o'clock, right here in City Council chambers.
What's going to be the deadline for the application and when the after the product?
There's really no deadline, Councilman. We run 4 honor flights a year, usually 2 in the spring, early summer. We kind of stay away from Washington in July and August. It gets extremely hot. And then we run 1 in September and usually late October. On the average, there's a flight with 25 veterans. The last flight I just went on, which was the initial transition from World War II to Korea, we went down with 48 veterans, 24 World War II veterans, 24 Korean veterans. When we went down with the full medical staff, we had 113 people on the Southwest jet when we flew down that morning. So they are very well taken care of.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief.
Randall Cooley. Sorry. Edna Poolin, 68 Notre Dame Street. Just got a couple of comments. One, we had a celebration today of a new member of the police department, which is a dog, which is going to add to what our police officers can do. My concern only is that fact that the city didn't fund this new officer for the police department and that the police department had to go out and collect funds on their own. When a city is making $1 million surpluses, there's no reason why this could not have been put in. We spent $30,000 for salsa night. The question is, what are the priorities of the city? Is it having fun and partying or the protection of the citizens of the city of Central Falls? You know, now that we have one police dog, you know, maybe the city should consider matching what was matched by the citizens of the city of Central Falls with another police dog, so we could have 2 dogs on the police force. If I were a police officer, I would love to have a dog as my partner. I mean, there's no one more loyal than that animal that you have with you. It was a very nice ceremony, and I wish the police department well. I think, you know, we've had them in the past, and they've worked out very well. I've been assured this dog is extremely friendly, and he's going to do a lot more than what the other dogs have done, because they'll be able to spend some time with the kids, and the kids in the school and that. The other is, I've read over the resolution on PACE, and I hope everybody else has read it over, because I don't totally understand it, you know, and I pride myself on being able to read and understand. What it says to me is that the city's going to take on some responsibility for some recording and other items. This is for what I can gather, it's for energy efficient items for not homeowners, but business people here in the city of Central Falls. My question is, you know, if you really look, who's going to benefit by this particular program? I looked into energy efficient, you know, the plates they put on the roof, and the return was 20 to 25 years. You know, so I've come to these meetings and you see people turn over their businesses. They're not there very long. And in a lot of cases, the people who own the piece of property are not the person who's running the particular business. So the question is, you know, what's the city going to benefit from it? And what is it going to cost the city to get involved in this kind of a program? You know, is it better left to the people who, you know, put this program together to run their own program than to come to the city and ask the city to do part of their job? So, you know, my question would be, once you get to the resolution, please explain it a little better than what I've been able to read, so that other people understand what the city is resolving to do and what we're committing as far as the city goes. I sat through the prior liquor board meeting, and I
really appalled that you're sitting there and negotiating with someone who has a problem. You have a police officer who's come to this council with a problem with an owner of a business. And this is not an owner that has had only one time a problem. I've been coming to these meetings for years, and Tropicana keeps coming up, the same name keeps coming up. So it's not something that's just happening today. It's been happening for years, and it hasn't been corrected. And I applaud Councilman Acosta for asking for a plan. But you should be asking all the people who come, especially liquor people, what their plan is going to be for that particular business. Because we have some people in the city who really don't understand running of a business. You know, I know a lot of them are now getting some training from Navigate and some of the programs they're bringing in, but they really need a lot more help. I mean, evidently he didn't understand what the cost was going to be of closing, you know, maybe one day and, you know, having police officers there for 2-3 months. You know, it doesn't take a real mathematician to figure out that what he was saying that he would accept was going to cost him a bundle of money. But we should not be sitting and negotiating. I mean, what are we going to do with the next person that comes before the council? How do you keep the rules, you know, consistent with all the businesses and people in the city by sitting and negotiating, well, we're going to do this or we're going to do that? I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. I've never been on a committee where you negotiate when someone's done something they shouldn't do here in the city or wherever else it may be. It should be decisive. There should be certain rules. There should be certain things that we do, certain things in place, so everyone that comes before is treated fairly. You know, and I feel bad. Mr. Salazar's been around, and he should know better. Like I said, I've been coming to these meetings a lot of years, and they go back to the 90s, and the name keeps popping up. So evidently, it hasn't stopped, and what we've been doing hasn't helped. The other thing is, and I haven't made a complaint, but at 3:35 in the morning over the weekend, someone in the neighborhood was having a good old time, and I'm surprised Bob didn't get wind of it through if he had his windows open, because it was somewhere over in that side of the city. It was maybe 4, 5, 6 streets over from me. At 3:35 in the morning, in the a.m., they were partying. Didn't disturb me. I just closed that window that was open. But I don't know the people that were living around that particular property of why there wasn't a complaint. Maybe there was a complaint, but that's the second time I've heard the noise coming from that direction over towards your area. So, I mean, but I'm not complaining because it isn't in my neighborhood, you know, so let the neighbors there complain about it. So I thank you.
Peter Steiner Siegel.
Good evening, Council. How are you this evening? Yes, I'd like to thank everybody for, you actually answered many of the questions that I had because I would have gone first and then looked at those questions that I answered, so thank you for that. One thing that remains unanswered from a couple of meetings ago is the accounting for the grants that we've gotten over the last few years. As a council person last fall, and Councilwoman Fonseca echoed this at the meeting, we've yet to get accounting for those grants. I was told that we would get them in the audit that was put out this spring, and we've yet to get them. So I was wondering, Council President, when I could expect that answer.
Who told you to spring?
That would be the Finance Director, Cynthia De Jesus.
Well, the friendly place, but I'm sure if you go down the finance and ask the current acting finance director, that's what she's going to expect. If you want me to ask that question.
Yeah, that would be great.
For you?
Yeah,
Well,
that would be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Very welcome.
And, let's see, there was one other thing. Oh, just as a point of interest, Central Falls Prevention Coalition offers tips, training, free of charge to all businesses in the community. We send out notices. So if anybody does come before you and they say, you know, it's not something we really can afford, we can work with them and help them to get their employees tips trained. But thank you, have a good night.
Thank you.
Michael Boulay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With that, on the back and forth.
I just wanna, please comment, I wanna congratulate Edna Pauling for being so committed with, our citizens, for all this involved. I wanna congratulate her for, receive the commission today, and for her to be supporting, to bring the K-9 to Central Falls. Thank you for the money you put on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Boulay.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you. Michael Brule. Mr. Council President, Mr. Bob Perry, I've been here before, so you probably appreciate this question. It's always, you reprimanded me before, we said, Michael, that's not the correct, procedure, reference to asking, have something put on the agenda. You said that you can't just ask for things to be put on the agenda, walking up to a mic, basically, in the past.
Right.
And I appreciate that, and I value that you have correct procedural protocol. And I just have, I have nothing to ask to put on the agenda, no special request right now. But just going forward, because I do come to these meetings from time to time, and there's nothing on my mind currently. What is the correct procedural protocol to ask to have something put on the agenda?
Okay, who's your council person?
I would imagine it's Mr. Acosta, it's Councilman Acosta.
Have Mr. Costa put it on the agenda for you.
And it's that simple?
That's it.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
And how, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you finish, please.
How did you enjoy the tour?
The talk, oh.
I want you to bring some positive.
Well, I've been in every part of that tower. I actually been on the roof. Okay, I'm saying that on record. As a child and a young adult.
We talked about positive things that night.
Yeah, no, it was fun, and I thought you were going to communicate with some of the people inside I call it a cave, but it's not really a cave, I know. But they used to actually, from what I understand, they used to bring the horses in to drink water or something. I don't know how true that is, but I seen the water was pretty clean. I was curious if it's drinkable, but I'm not going to take any home, but.
It was we had over 100 people, so I had to go follow the line, back the line, see if anybody stuck up the tower, see if anybody stuck in the ground. So, but I thank you for attending. And yeah, just go through your council person, Jonathan.
Before I leave, right? My clock broke, so I was wondering if I could get a permit for a rooster. Is that possible? Not actually, a couple of roosters would be better.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bill Donlin. Thank you.
Okay, this thing's making a lot of noise, people squeaking it. If you're talking into it like this. Okay, my name is Bill Donnelly. I'm representing VFW Post 1271, which is called Eugene T. LePage. We are located at 416 Hunt Street. That is now the Veterans Memorial Park. Now, Al was up here speaking earlier, and I thought we were coming to hear about the resolution, and it didn't get on the agenda. But VFW Post 1271 is in support of moving the monument over there on is it Central Street? It's on Central Street by the library? Okay, the only thing I can say about that, it's one of the best monuments you want to see. I've been around a long time with the veterans organizations, and that monument is one of the better ones. And it's like somebody who's getting into business. The main thing in the business is location, location, location. That monument is not seen by anybody, except people who have to use that street as a one-way. It should be somewhere where people can see it. And this new Memorial Park, which is for veterans, this is a place it should be. And some of our other monuments that are around the city, we have a new committee that's formed up with Al, and we're going to be talking about other monuments to be moved, like the one that's over at the Circle over there at Chocolate Factory there. That monument right there has been pushed out to the street. And when you go to do ceremonies, you're standing on the sidewalk, and if you've got more than 10 people, they're out in the street now. That monument is out of place. It's really an insult to the monument, and that monument was dedicated a couple of years back. I wasn't involved, but it was the Central Falls Veterans Committee that did that. Veterans, yeah. And that one's another one that should be moved. That's later, but my main thing tonight was to come in and support the moving of the monument to the park that's LaFave, should have been called LaFave Memorial, Veterans Memorial Park, but that's all I've got to say right now, but you will be seeing me and a few of the other guys, the veterans group that's forming to help make this go. And I know it's a personal thing somewhere, but once again, location is one of the best monuments, and it should be where people can see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next.
Next item on the agenda is approval of records, and no one else signed up for the comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before we do the records,
We're not taking another,
Chairman, a couple of comments that were made regarding the resolution. I did attempt to submit a resolution on June 30th, 7 o'clock in the morning. Resolution supporting the creation of the Veterans Memorial Park. It was not put on the agenda. I am submitting it now for the September council meeting, Mr. Chairman.
get it to the city clerk.
I did, but it wasn't on the agenda.
Thank you.
That's the district.
Just for the record, resolution, we've already had groundbreaking, and the name of the park is Veterans Memorial Park. We don't need a resolution anymore.
This is a resolution for the relocation, and it could be explained exactly in the resolution.
It says the creation of the Veterans Memorial Park. It's been created, this was there, the project is 2/3 done. But I will submit it, I will,
Relocation of monuments, Mr.
not
Chairman.
according to that headline.
It's only a headline. Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you.
Secondly, Mr. Chairman, just as a point of correction, if somebody wishes to put something on the agenda, any resident can go to any council member or council member at large to request something being put on the agenda.
That's been said already.
And Mr. Chairman, I feel, I've attempted to put things on the agenda since January, Mr. Chairman, they have been denied. So I hope your decision for council members to place items on the agenda will not be delayed or stopped, Mr. Chairman.
So the rule is 10 days that we created way back in January when we organized. Let's move on to the zip. You did not, you did,
July 10th meeting, Mr. Chairman.
10 days would be
That's 11.
prior to the meeting. Okay,
Approval of records, we have three sets of minutes, June 5th, June 12th, and June 19th for your consideration.
taking it easy.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. So
yeah.
June 5th, 2017.
June 5th, Mr.
I
Chairman.
think we have a motion by Councilwoman Fonseca, seconded by Councilman Solano, to approve the minutes of June 5th, 2017.
Chairman, I make a motion to table.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. Any further discussion?
I have amendments to the motion if you will not wish to table, Mr. Chairman. Clarifications. As I've stated in the past, Mr. Chairman, on these minutes, I do not agree with the taking of the minutes in the,
Mr. Lazier, can we stick to any corrections to the minutes that's before us? Don't want to hear about your diatribe about how the minutes are being taken. The minutes have passed muster, the minutes are fine. We also have a record, and I told you that camera is the record. So if you have any amendment, it has to be in regard to the minutes that's in front of you. Is there any wording, or are there any misspelled words? Bring that out, Mr. Lazier. It's not a diatribe on how the minutes are being taken.
if I wish to make my own discussion on the motion or the comments I have on the minutes without interruption.
We are looking for correction of the minutes in front of you.
Mr. Chairman, the entire minutes need to be tabled, but in lieu of you not, in the council not tabling, then I question the minutes on the June 5th. The location of my comments and objection to the minutes in point of order ruling that I requested is not provided in the minutes, Mr. Chairman. I object that the minutes do not reflect everything that has taken place in all actions by the council or requests by the council. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, under my comments on the public hearing, it states Thomas was there to 1072 Lonte Avenue objected to the budget process, the tax rate, and it ends. What is the continuation of that, Mr. Chairman? Secondly, or thirdly, Mr. Chairman, under the annual operating budget ordinance, under Len Organis, Administration of Finance Officer, reviewed the changes in the budget ordinances and answered questions from the council regarding the changes of the budget. The minutes should reflect who asked questions and what were those questions and what were Mr. Organis' comments. They do not reflect that, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion to approve.
I'm not through amending or correcting, Mr. Chairman.
You have to amend what's in front of you.
I am amending what's in front of me, I'm reading it, Mr.
But you
Chairman.
also are doing a narrative on how they're being stated. We've been through this before. It's unfair to the city clerk, and I don't want to hear any further.
Mr. Chairman, next,
Vote against the
motion to
approval
amend,
or
Mr.
vote
Chairman,
present.
on the second page. What is the amendment, Mr. Chairman? It's not clarified. Next, Mr. Organis has answered questions from the council. What were the questions and who were the council? Next, under B, motion to amend the ordinance was made by Councilman Acosta and Councilwoman Rivera. What was the motion to amend? We need to clarify and to elaborate exactly what we are voting on, Mr. Chairman. Next, Mr. Chairman, under C, on the third page, what is the amendment also or the changes that are discussed on amending the wage schedule generally? Next, Mr. Chairman, under D, the capital program budget ordinance, first reading. Mr. Geraldo answered questions from the council regarding the ordinance. Who asked the questions, Mr. Chairman, and what were the answers to those questions that he answered? Under D, the motion was to table the ordinance was made by Councilman Hosea, seconded by Councilwoman Fonseca. Roll call vote. Councilman Berry, yes, and it goes on. The motion failed 1-6. The actual count, Mr. Chairman, is 6-1. At the bottom of the page, Mr. Chairman, motion to amend section B from 5 members of the city council to 6. Motion was not seconded. Who made the motion, Mr. Chairman? There is no council member cited for making that motion. And these are some of the corrections that needed to be done, and that's why I suggested that we table it until they were done properly. As I stated in the past, Mr. Chairman, my discussion or any other discussion is requested to be detailed, to be elaborated on. I want, and I've requested my comments to be put in the minutes. That's a request according to our rules, Mr. Chairman, and it's not been complied.
Is there anyone on the council that would second Mr. Rosea's amendment? Hearing none, seeing none, we have a motion to approve the minutes of June 5th, 2017. Roll call vote.
Councilman Berry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Yes. Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Day?
No.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Carried. Thank you. Next item is meeting minutes of June 12th.
Motion by Councilman Solano, second by Councilwoman Fonseca to approve minutes of June 12th.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, my same objection is that first to table is not, then to review the minutes,
A review or amend?
to amend or to correct the minutes.
As written in front of you. You
Correct.
can't add or subtract.
We can correct the minutes, Mr. Chairman, that do not accurately portray the full intent of the meeting. That's what I have stated in the past, Mr. Chairman. That's what I requested. under the second page, item 5B, Mr. Chairman, I specifically requested information of the department head financial reports. That is not listed here. Colonel James McDumphy answered questions from the council. Which council and what questions? Is not commented or specified in the minutes. Under B, Mr. Chairman, motion to approve, the ordinance was made by Councilman Fonseca, Mr. Fredericks, Director of Planning, and Mr. Matthew Jurzik, City Solicitor, provided an overview of the ordinance and answered questions from the council. I specifically remember asking a variety of questions, Mr. Chairman, but for some reason, any time that I question an ordinance or resolution or item, those questions and my questions have been deleted or not included, and I object. Next, on the third page, Mr. Chairman, in orders pertaining to salary of department heads and others on classified first reading, motion to amend the orders was made by Councilman Rivera, seconded by Councilman Solano. Councilman Rivera reviewed the changes in the amendment. A roll call vote. What was the amendment, Mr. Chairman? It is not clarified in this. Next,
Point of order,
three.
can you make your amendment and stop asking questions during the amendment? And if you assume that you're gonna get a second, which seems unlikely, but it may be possible, then get to that so we can keep moving. I think you proved your point, Councilman Lozay, from the first 7 minutes. You're gonna do the same thing for the next 2, and it seems like it may be for show rather than for practical purpose.
Mr. Acosta,
Mr.
my
Lozay,
actions are not to show. Here to reflect an accurate portrayal of the minutes that we have done from January till now. And I've objected to and have been ignored by the council. My only remedy is to point out the areas that I feel are incorrect and to request a correction. If the other members of the city council do not wish to support that, that's your decision. I object to the minutes and the lack of documentation, information, and reporting that should be included in the minutes.
Is there a second to Mr. Lazar's diatribe?
I'm not done with this.
Mr. Lazar, the point being, you have to make amendments to what's in front of you in writing. Not, you can't add to it what you said.
I'm asking to correct.
And Mr. Lazar, by the way, again, I can't repeat anymore. That camera also reflects the minutes of every council meeting, everything that has been said. So with that, is anyone willing to second Mr. Lazar's amendment? Hearing none, Mr.
I just want to ask a question to Mr. Director. Sorry to interrupt. For
Thank you.
every single meeting, we are dealing with the same issues. And then we spend more time than we supposed to. We very well. We have families and we have to
I
make
totally agree.
Mr. Solicitor, what is the thing, what we doing wrong in what we can do to prevent the thing to stop it happening in every single meeting?
It was cool.
the chair I apologize, but the chair does not have to recognize a council person who wishes to speak. It's fundamental part of the parliamentary practice. And you can limit a motion or an amendment to a certain period of time, or you can ask for a second.
My point, Mr. Lazar, is that, again, you have to amend what's in front of you. You can't add or subtract, or this one said that one said this. With that, we have a motion to approve. Roll call vote.
Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
You denied me my amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman
You didn't have a
Acosta?
second.
Councilman Figueroa?
I did not finish
Councilwoman Fonseca?
my comments, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Lozaya?
Absolutely no.
Councilwoman Rivera?
Ridiculous.
Councilman Solano? Jerry, President.
Next item.
Next item is the meeting minutes of June 19, 2017.
Motion by Councilwoman Pacheco. Second by Councilwoman
Chairman,
Mr. Revere, again, under discussion, please stick to what's in front of you. Don't add, don't subtract.
Chairman, I request that the minutes be clarified and be corrected to reflect the discussions that have taken place at the meeting on June 19th. Mr. Chairman, there are many areas in this I could comment on and bring detail to, but realizing that the council does not wish further discussion, I object to the minutes, I object to the lack of detail, the lack of items that have been neglected to be listed in the minutes itself, Mr. Chairman, and I will continue to do that until records present to the council that I think are appropriate.
So noted. I don't know. Roll call vote.
Councilman Jerry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Yes. Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Zed?
No.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano? Motion carries, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Item 5 is executive communications, and there are none. Item 6, scheduled bills for consideration. Item A is ordinance creating the Central Falls nuisance task force and amending city ordinances relative to nuisance properties. It is second reading.
We open a public hearing regarding this ordinance. Anyone wish to speak? Would the clerk please read the heading of the ordinance again?
An ordinance creating the Central Falls nuisance task force and amending city ordinances relative to nuisance properties.
Hearing none, seeing none, public hearing closed. If the solicitor, I believe the biggest change is section 18-21, 18-22. in this ordinance.
Chairman, I make a motion to amend. Make a motion to amend section.
I believe 18-21, 18-22, this is with corrections up.
Failure to pay any penalty in this section within 30 days resulting in lien being placed on the property. I would amend to a lien M.
Thank you.
A5 M, I'm going to leave right now. My discussion the last time, Mr. Chairman, is that we are not giving the individual who may be being fined the opportunity to appeal. So if they don't pay any penalty, if they are in the middle of an appeal within 30 days, they are being penalized during the appeal process. I would move to amend failure to pay any penalty in this section after 30 days, after appeal. Within 30 days after appeal, may result in a lien being placed. I feel that we need to give an opportunity for individuals to appeal, and that appeal may take longer than 30 days. I make that motion.
Anyone have any report? Mr. Solicitor, does that pass muster, will it strengthen, weaken, or must be the same? Does everyone understand what the amendment would be?
I would also include that into F, which would be the similar citation on page 6.
Mr. President, this ordinance was the collaborative effort of the last 6 months, the nuisance task force, looking at all of the tools in the nuisance task force toolbox to making sure that all of the ordinances have the same process in place in a transparent and public manner. And so what these ordinances do is they say, there is a penalty to keeping a chronic or ongoing lighted nuisance abandoned property. If you are then cited by the city, you can appeal that to municipal court. If you lose your appeal and do not pay, the city may, and use the word may, have the option of putting a lien on the property, because many times what we found is, unfortunately, we go through this long administrative effort of putting citations on properties, bringing them to housing court, and then they sell before a lien is put in place, and the city loses all of its revenue and all the hard work it's put in. So this creates a streamlined process for every abandoned nuisance property, as recommended by the Code Enforcement Department and the nuisance task
Frank, do you understand the amendment?
Yes, I just want a clarification with the solicitors about how long do they have to appeal?
The citation gives them until the next housing court date, which is typically 2 weeks.
Is there a second to Mr. Revere amendment, proposed amendment?
So I have a question. So just for clarification, currently in practice, we wouldn't find someone if they had submitted, or excuse me, we wouldn't move to the lien if they were under appeal, if they had submitted an appeal.
That's correct. That would be legally inappropriate to do.
So I think it satisfies some of the concerns about necessarily.
If the matter is in litigation around municipal court, I would, and solicitor, render the opinion that it's inappropriate to have it, file anything relative to a lien because it's still in dispute. No lien required to judge.
Mr. Chairman, I would withdraw my amendment to that. I would then go to section 2, section 18-22B. The Director of Public Safety shall issue a public nuisance declaration via regular and certified mail to the building or property owner. They shall send a copy to the technical nuisance task force. Mr. Chairman, sometimes the building or property owner is not violated. I would amend to include tenant or business operator. If there is a nuisance and the mayor is declaring a nuisance as a public safety director, and if that nuisance is created by a tenant or a business operator, then they should be cited also, Mr. Chairman, besides the other citations. Make that a formal motion to amend.
So, just to clarify, to make sure that the motion of Mr. Lacer. So you want it amended to include the tenants who have made probably the mistake or any contractor to be cited alongside with the landlord?
Yes. Include the violator who may either be a tenant or a business operator.
I second it.
We have any discussion?
I have a question for this solicitor. Isn't it the property owner's responsibility to be managing those things? So could you even legally hold someone liable?
No, again, this is the practice of the nuisance task force. If, I'll give you an example. If the council regularly hears complaints when a door is kicked in because a wayward drug dealing tenant is the subject of a search warrant by the police, we don't bring the tenants in because we have no legal authority over them. We bring them to the property owner, and then the property owner may say as a defense, look, it was the tenant, or the nuisance task force, in many cases, the property owner argues the tenant. The nuisance task force response is, you need to better manage the property. Because you are the tax-paying owner of the property, the city has a legal relationship with you, you do not have a legal relationship with them.
Chairman, I fully understand the solicitor's comments and that, and I agree to a point, but property owners in the city are being cited issue a public nuisance declaration. That's what this citation is. And my amendment is only citing an additional, setting up an additional 1 or 2 letters to cite also a notification of a public nuisance to the individuals who have been declared to be the nuisance, besides the property owner who is ultimately responsible. In this way, it gives the property owner the opportunity to use that disruption in procedures for eviction or notification of, to correct the situation. That there is a violation, we are being notified, and you are the cause of it. You may have a police record on it, an incident report. That is something that the property owner ultimately is responsible for, but he can use that citation notice also to take action against the unruly or illegally acting tenant or business operator. So to send an additional letter out, Mr. Chairman, I don't believe is an onerous, it's an additional letter which will assist in clarifying and correcting the situation moving faster.
So you basically are asking for one additional citation to the, or vice versa, actually, so it said that 15 minutes. That's okay. I appreciate it. And Matt, that's much.
The city has a very limited scope of its legal authority relative to nuisance property. And so the concept of nuisance comes from the word patron's patriot, which is police power in the city. And so the city retains police power over its property because it's taxed land, and that's why in this series of ordinances, what you see is that we're issuing declarations relative to the property. We're not issuing declarations to people. We don't have that legal authority. We're issuing declarations that property is a nuisance property. And so the declaration goes to the owner of the property because it's the property itself being cited.
The police, they're all, roll call vote on the amendment.
Councilman Perry?
No.
Councilman Acosta?
No.
Councilman Figueroa? Councilwoman Fonseca? Councilman Lozada?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano? Motion passes, Mr. President.
Thank you. And now a motion to approve the ordinance.
Mr. Chairman, I have another matter, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, on the next page, page 7. 7C discusses
Yeah.
the
Two bundle of amendments all together.
separate amendments.
All right.
Separate amendments.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, on the top of page 7, it discusses the membership. Mr. Chairman, I just feel I've addressed the issue in the past. The establishment of this committee, of this nuisance task force, states that a city council member is a member. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, you have not appointed them and stated that you don't feel there's any need to appoint any committees.
I did not get involved in the nuisance task force at all. I was never asked for a name of them. So I don't know where you're coming from.
Point of order, we have a city council member on the nuisance task force, she's sitting to your right.
And she was submitted by the mayor. I was not asked for something. I said to this.
Well, then I would hope that other committees and council committees be appointed, Mr. Chairman, because they have not. And request that.
Thank you.
I have an amendment. I'm going to amend on page 1, section 12.4, subsection A, subsection 4, under chronic nuisance property. We've stricken out, or we struck out, excuse me, 2 or more nuisance activities. I would put that back. The word chronic suggests more than once. And the way this currently reads, one infraction could potentially get you labeled nuisance property, which seems harsh in words. So it says it essentially defines what chronic nuisance property means, and right now we took out 2 or more. So you could give one, you could have one nuisance issue, whether it be loud music or trash or overgrown grass, and that could lead to your property being labeled nuisance property. I don't think that would happen in practice, but the literal definition here seems most good.
It's a good question, and it was debated. This language change was at the recommendation of Colonel Mendoza and Major Barzakowski, and their reasoning was as follows. Nuisance activities defined right below that in section 5. It's defined as a property where there's a homicide, number 1. The delivery, manufacturing, or possession of a narcotic, number 2. Number 3, prostitution. Number 4, firearms violation. Number 5, organized criminal gambling. And then number 6, domestic violence, stalking, and Central Falls. This section relates to the fact that Central Falls is the highest per capita county of domestic violence in Rhode Island. So it's not just one instance of loud music or an environmental violation. It's got to be a homicide, narcotics, prostitution, firearms, criminal gambling. And their rationale was the department's not big enough to monitor the same house for 6 months. And if they were, they would be able to watch it. In their minds, if there is this type of large-scale criminal activity happening, then it should be de facto fine. And that was the rationale for that issue.
In B, it mentions has been issued or executed a search warrant. When we have like a case where the police break down the door for alleged drug bust that like apartment number 3 by 1.012. So would that property, even though nothing was found, maybe the person they're looking for didn't even live there anymore, would that property be considered nuisance?
It would be eligible to be considered a nuisance property. A lot of this chronic nuisance ordinance, in terms of the toolbox, this chronic nuisance ordinance gives the chief of police a lot of discretion in what the chief wants to recommend for chronic nuisance property. But Section B on its face says if there is a narcotics-based search warrant issued or executed, it would be eligible to be deemed a chronic nuisance property.
And then was the chief has the power to make it consider it nuisance, or that's a nuisance task force? What power does the nuisance task force?
The way that it's operated to date is the chief makes the recommendations to the nuisance task force makes the recommendations to the mayor, who's the director of public safety, and Director of Public Safety makes the declaration. To date, we've done 3.
So there's checks and balances.
Anything else? Well, let's still discuss it. Talking about the close amendment.
I'm discussing, Mr. Chairman, the nuisance activity, section item 5, nuisance activity includes the following. As the solicitor commented, it included those items. But it is not just limited to those items. I agree with Council's interpretation that these items are included, but then the nuisance task force can decide of something else that can be considered chronic. And that a chronic, I would agree that would assume it's more than one activity. The activities in number 5 are automatic as it's stated here. But if we have a loud music, Mr. Chairman, on one occasion, then according to this, the mayor and the public safety director can declare a nuisance because it doesn't say how many times you have a nuisance. I have another comment, but I'll wait because it doesn't pertain to this one.
It may be inappropriate for me, and I know it is.
Anyone else?
The word chronic is plural. I have to make that clear. The word chronic is plural. I'm sorry I had to do that. Because there's a lawyer here who doesn't understand. Chronic is
Any
plural.
further discussion?
More than one.
Mr. President. Number 5, nuisance activity includes the following. Supreme Court President has held that there's a list after the phrase includes the following. The definition is framed by the list and nothing more than the list. And that's why sometimes you see in legislative drafting the phrase includes but is not limited to the following. So that's the phrase you would use if you wanted to say that there's more than just it F. But if you say includes the following, you are limited to the state F. Certainly makes
The only, under your interpretation, is also the only actions that could be deemed a chronic nuisance are the ones from A to F. So, a housing violation cannot be. So,
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
yeah, getting down to those 5, can you explain the last part of that clause in F? Right, so I understand domestic violence is just course a problem in our neighborhood, in our communities, but I worry about the victim and the perpetrator of domestic violence living together. And so, if you're the victim of domestic violence, it technically says it would not apply to you chronic use of property that both people live with, then how does that shake out?
It's a good question. What I would say is a lot of departments have been working on domestic violence in the city for the last 6 months, and there's a whole range of questions that I think need to be addressed about why we have such high rates of domestic violence in the city. What I would say is that to date, neither the nuisance task force nor the police department have taken nuisance action against any household relative to this issue. When this language was drafted, the Coalition Against Domestic Violence did request that victim language be added to protect the victim. But the point here was that if you are a felony domestic violence perpetrator, then you can be considered, your property can be considered property. I will say, because there's been some conversation about it, the language about your amendment was at the recommendation of the police department. And as stated earlier, there was disagreement about that. So there was no clear, I think there's room on both sides for interpreting what the right answer is, the policy question. But there was definitely conversation about whether it's recommended council to remove the
And just to make it as crystal as I can, if the victim lives in the home, then an act of domestic violence would not constitute declaring that property.
That's correct.
We're looking for an amendment, or you want to? Should we first understand the amendment?
The amendment is to remove the strike-through on section 4B, page 1, the words two or more times.
On A,
A and B.
Roll call, everyone understand the amendment? They want to remove, strike out, 4A, strike out 4B. Roll call vote.
Councilman Fred? Councilman Acosta?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Lozay?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera? No. Councilman Solano? We'll put that one.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Page 2. Clarification from the solicitor. I mentioned earlier regarding that a tenant or person or business operator under 7, person means an individual group or individual corporation, partnership, association, company, business, trust, joint venture of belonging to chairman, entity of the manager, leasing agent, officer, or employee of any of them. So it's more than just the owner of the property, Mr. Chairman. Then, Mr. Chairman, under violations, we cite that any property within the city of Central Florida that is a chronic nuisance property is in violation of the chapter is subject to its remedies. Owners and other persons in charge who permit activity to be a chronic nuisance shall be in violation of this chapter. It is subject to the penalties pursuant to this section. My comments before, Mr. Chairman, are only strengthened by this citation already in the law, that individuals and persons who are in charge are also permitted to be cited. So I would ask the solicitor again that sending a notice out to them as is cited in the violation section B, it only strengthens the ordinance by citing the individuals that we feel are involved.
I would assume the other main property manager.
The ordinance gives the city discretion to fine other persons in charge. What we have in terms of our citation authority and our lead powers to even with the property.
My comments and request to the past is only that a notice be sent out to these individuals also. And I think it's not an onerous action, and it's within the scope of the city to include citation to people who are in violation, or maybe other than the owners.
I don't see an issue with, providing notice to tenants. The only issue, so in practice, what we do is we do what's called background service, so we will actually put a notice on the door of the property, so the tenants can see it. Sometimes we use the voter list, we use the tax roll list. It's hard to know if you have to mandate letting every tenant know how to find every tenant, but we certainly can notice the property itself, so that if you live in the property, you see the notice.
If it's a business though, citation to the, if a individual is being cited by the police department and there's other police records that can use the tax roll to utilize it, then I feel that those individuals who are cited should be also given notice. If it's a business, they should be given notice. If it's a tenant, they should be given notice, as it declared in a police report already, violation notice.
Council was at the bottom of page 2, section 2, provides that if notice is being issued to someone other than the owner, it must be sent to that other person by first-class mail or person served on the owner. You could certainly amend that section to include other people. I think the intent of that section is the intent of your term of Congress.
Is the solicitor's office amenable to amending that section to include that, Mr. Solicitor?
To include any relevant tenant that would be
Tenant or business operator?
Yes.
I think that is such a motion.
Could you repeat the amendment, please? Clear us?
The amendment would be to amend section 2 at the bottom of page 2 to include any relevant tenant or business owner for the notice of file.
Any further discussion? Is there a second by Councilman Rivera? Any further discussion? There, I'm seeing a roll call vote.
Councilman Terry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fonseca? Councilman Jose? Councilwoman Rivera? Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank
Chairman, I only have one other request. This is the last section, section 10-38.
Page number?
It's about page 10, the last page. Transfer of ownership, Mr. Chairman. I'm only concerned that it seems a little onerous on behalf of the city to deny a transfer for a mortgage sale or transfer or any action on the property that is under the use of the task force. And that no action can be taken unless the certificate of occupancy, which is an additional cost of $200 for inspection. I think it could be before the nuisance task force, Mr. Chairman, is strong action to tighten this up to this extent. I think it may be a little extreme. I only ask the solicitor if there's any other ways of not making it as onerous as this section.
Councilman, I'll try to address your concern. There's 3 sections in this, subsections in this section. The first section says, if you own property and you have a notice of violation, you're in housing court. And you've got to sell the property to me. If you don't tell me you're in housing court, you can't do that. So this says 2 things. If you're in housing court, you you either need to comply with the violations of the minimum housing standards before you sell it, or you have to give me notice, and I have to give the city notice that I received it. The problem is, you kept running into people buying property who never knew that the property was in housing authority. So all this requires is notice. That's section A. Section B says if it's built before 1978, it must have a lead certificate. That's state law. Section 3 is if the property is vacant and abandoned at the time of the sale, then you have to come back to get a CO once you start rehabbing.
You need to get a CO prior to the sale.
That is correct. And the purpose of that is to ensure that the new property owner is not going to land bank the property and keep it abandoned, blighted, and return it back to the production.
My concern with that is that it's not just a sale. It's a sale, transfer, mortgage, or lease of the property owner must obtain a certificate. So any activity, you already have to, in section 1, have to notify them. But if someone's taken over the property, they cannot do anything. They can't even refinance it to the repairs unless they get a certificate and a $200 fee for inspection. We're putting heavy burdens on people who are asking them to rehab these properties also. They're still in the nuisance court. And we are creating a little more difficulty.
Is there a second to the amendment? Make that a form of the amendment?
I made a request.
Okay, so you got satisfied with it?
Not.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion to approve the ordinance as amended.
We have a motion by Councilor Costa, seconded by Councilman Seeger and Councilman Solano. Roll call vote.
Councilman Burr,
Yes.
Councilman Acosta, Councilman Figueroa, Councilman Fonseca, Councilman Zhang,
Present.
Councilman Burr, Councilman Solano.
Yes. Before we go on, I'd like to, without objection, move resolution E to now, and Len McGinnis has been here all day, and I apologize to Len for getting his resolution on that. So, it's in regards to authorizing the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds. Are there any questions regarding that resolution? Item A, E. Sorry, Len, I take that, everybody on the
That's fine.
It is, it's right. Are there any questions regarding this particular resolution?
Chairman, can I ask Mr. McGinnis a little more background on the 8.7 million term obligation bonds? Where it came from and what's it for?
The original bond was issued by the city years ago. The 99 bond is due in 2020. We're going to receive, we have a bill due for the payment in 2020, but we will not be receiving the state reimbursement as discussed
discussed in the budget process. This refinance resolution refinances another O7 series. The savings will be put into the 2020 payment of I would say the problem bond, and will cause no future liability going forward after 2020. All the savings will be put to reduce the dollar bill. Exactly what was spent in '99 for the original bond. No comment. I really,
Is this a school bond?
yeah. I don't know what school, I just don't want to say something that's incorrect.
For 1999?
Correct.
The original bond was a $12 million bond, and it's going down to 8.7.
The last payment's due in 2020 for the '99 bond. The '07 is halfway through its life, we're going to refinance that one. The savings of that will be used to offset and lower the bill of the '99 bond last payment.
What would be the total cost from the total expense to the city now that, from the 8.7?
The expense being, well, this resolution just gives me the permission to review the term sheet. Well, the city authority to review the term sheet. We have to lock in the rate before the next Fed meeting, so that's why this resolution happens so fast after the budget. We don't have exact numbers of the interest rate yet. We have an idea of what's going to happen. As discussed during the budget process, it's estimated that this will save the city about $400,000, and that would be applied towards the bond payments in 2020 to reduce the $800,000 liability that's in 2020 that we will not get reimbursed for.
So Des, I'm just trying to get an understanding. In 1999, the city took out a $12 million general obligation bond. The remainder of that bond is 8.7. That's what we're refinancing.
We are refinancing the '07 bond. The '99 bond is the bond that is due to end in 2020. It has a bond payment due with no reimbursement. So essentially, it's like refinancing. You have 4 properties, 5 properties. You're refinancing one to offset a liability in the money.
So the '07 bond was issued for $8.7 million.
I believe so, yes.
And the refinancing of that will cost the city.
Quite, depending on the interest, it shouldn't cost anything in the future. The savings will be put towards 2020. Going forward, the bond, the way we did in 2013 will be, this will be the same way, where the savings was a 1 year with the idea that the future payments don't change.
Could
So
defer savings for 1 year, with the receiving savings.
the savings will be applied by the bank for the 2020 invoice, yes. We won't be receiving $400,000 at the time of closing, and we put it aside if that's addressed. No, it'll get applied to the bond payment, the bond holder right away, the bank that services the bond.
So the city is deferring the payment in lieu of the bank's refinancing the savings.
You can look at it that way.
And this bond will extend to 2020, doesn't get paid off.
The original, well, the 99 bond that's causing the problem ends in 2020. That's why the last payment causes the problem. The 2007 bond doesn't, we're not extending it, we're not costing the city money. It's going to end in 2027 as scheduled. All it does is, by having a lower interest rate, we're taking the savings in 2020, the future payments stay the same. That's why it doesn't cost the city money. Like, in 2013, when I did this, we received the savings of over $500,000. We're anticipating about 400 because the rates are slightly different now.
But again, I'm very supportive of saving the city money. I would only request that you provide an itemization of the funds in the savings throughout the years. The way you have listed it doesn't elaborate the money that we are going to be paying each year and the savings. If the finance department could provide that to us later, I appreciate it.
We could, of course, make that available.
Any further questions? Again? Have a motion to approve, said resolution by Councilwoman Fonseca, Councilman Milano. No further discussion, roll call vote.
Councilman Perry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Yes. Councilman Figueroa? Yes. Councilman Fonseca? Yes. Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, council.
I'll be there.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Madam Clerk, did we get that?
The resolution of Central Falls City Council to designate the city of Central Falls as a face municipality and to approve the C-PACE agreement.
Motion by Councilman Fonseca. Second by Councilman Rivera. Discussion. Mr. Pat.
So I did want to, with solicitor's help, address questions that in public comment in the city's obligation. As I was reading through the resolution, but also just through the state's description of the plan, it seems like all it really does is formalizes the process by which you would put a lien on a property anyway. So it seems like the only part that the city would play is in this relationship with this Rhode Island, the RIIB, in support of their collection of their money. It doesn't seem like we have to do anything else to them. Sum it up.
That's correct. We have an assessment per state law, and if the point of this is to allow property owners, developers, and energy efficiency companies to have financing agreement where financing can come on assessment of the property. All we're doing is blessing that. And there is no monetary contribution from the city. There is no, people have been talking about, for example, the POSOX, city of Kentucky is guaranteeing the financing. This is not that. We're not guaranteeing financing. All we're doing is saying the lien will be valid by the lender in our land as a record.
Anyone else? Seeing none, hearing none. Roll call vote.
Councilman Perry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Rivera? Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano? Motion carries. Return to ordinance amending chapter 36, traffic and vehicles. First reading.
I understand we're going to have a speaker. He's here. Hi, I'm sorry. I apologize. We would have moved you up also. You were so quiet. Yeah.
No problem.
Welcome to government.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I apologize. You're on the next one. We'll take you right now. I apologize. Sit back there.
So we're going to hear ordinance creating the Road Paving and Utility Accountability Act of 2017.
So I'm going to keep my presentation short. I provided a memo to the council. It's a quick summary of the proposed ordinance. This proposed ordinance was a result of research into best practices and common themes in other municipalities across the state of Rhode Island. Originally, I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at the current ordinance. It's a little outdated. Doesn't really have much that we can hold people accountable that excavate Central Falls roads.
So, I think this ordinance is a step in the right direction. If you have any comments, feel free. Questions?
Can I just ask a question? Sub A compared to what we have in our package, what's the difference? That all goes to sub A?
Yeah, Councilman, I can address that. We and other valid the law student has been attorney for the law department all summer. What's in your packet was probably one of his earlier iterations of the draft ordinance. And then the sub A before you is his final draft after looking at all the relevant cities and towns. And his memo reflects the changes that are in the sub A. That's correct.
Statement, I just want to say thank you for the street pavement plan section. It's awesome. It's going to be included on the website. My only question is, what has someone spoken to DPW about this? And two, if passed today, would we now have to wait until 2018 March to get it?
So, I have spoken with Elaine on a few of the changes. Don't think she's seen Step A as is before you. I know that if you look on page 6, clause C, I shared that with her, and she was a big fan of it. She said currently, if someone wants to repave the roads, we usually get it at a minimum of 1.5 inch per asphalt.
Oh, yeah, page 4, right?
Right, page 4. Sorry. So with the new C, yeah, we get at a minimum 2.5 inches of asphalt, which would prolong the life and the quality of the road. So I would add to what Marinel's said is that in an earlier draft, she had some concerns on the street paving plan, and the nature of her concern was, how can I make a plan for something that I not have the money to do? And so the language was changed to say contingent on, so in the perfect world, if there were funding, what would be your top 10 roads? As opposed to make a list and have no idea what the money is. So it's all contingent on what the funding would be. And the whole idea here, Councilman, is that utility companies will pave Summer Street, and then National Grid will come 3 months later and tear it up. And because they tear it up, they've opened the road and create seams, and the salt gets in and pops a pothole, and the road is on a slow down the road, no pun intended. But if we give the utility 6 months or a year's notice, they have time to say, oh, we have a 3-year plan. 2 years from now, we were going to go into Summer Street and work on a line. They now have 6 months to do that before we pave it. If we pave it under this new ordinance, and they don't do that, we can hold them accountable for repaving the entire road. They're going once.
I do have a concern, and we sent an email to all our council members and the DPW director about the paving as well. He was working on that, and stating that the job that the contractor is doing in the city of Central Fort is a crappy job. It's not a good job, and in his letter here, he said requesting at least 1.5 inch thickness on the pavement. That's not happening. Hunt Street looks nice, but there's so part of Hunt Street that is for the pavement on the 30th of June. Some part of it didn't have not even 1 inch thick. And as a result, we're going to have a street cracking as soon as they're supposed to be, as happening right now with Higginson Avenue and also with Chalmers Street and Arrow Street. Those roads are already cracking, and they are like 9 months old. So this is a solution to include the contractor to be liable for what they're doing here, not doing it well.
Good, Mr.
Gonzalez, I have a location in my ward that is not a accepted street, but I see in interpretations right of way. Right of ways allowed to be paid by the city. Included on the list. Question on businesses. There's a right of way off of Conduit Street. Requested for years that it needs to be paid. Spoken to the public works director. Is that something that can be included on the list?
So in regards to paving specific right-of-ways or specific roads, this isn't really what the ordinance is designed to address. What this ordinance is designed to do is set standards for utility companies, private companies, and anyone else who has an interest in excavating the roads, to notify the city, notify the police chief, ensure that adequate permits are obtained, and when they do repave the roads at the conclusion of their work, that 2.5 inches, and those standards are used in Cumberland, Westerly, I believe Tiverton as well. If it works for them, I think it'll work for Central Falls. I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at the current ordinance.
I just got it.
The current ordinance, as it is on the books, doesn't have any language to specific requirements. Again, right now, it makes sense that if someone is paving a road, you might get an inch, you might get an inch and a half, because there's no requirement on the books. But this is the purpose of the ordinance.
Does it also include requirements for police?
Yes, sir. If you look on page 3, top of the page, D, it requires that each permit is given to the chief of police, who is thereby authorized to set a number of people he deems fit to secure the area and ensure general welfare.
What about the closing down of the street?
Again, that clause is pretty encompassing. Chief of police believes that the street closure is required. It's up to him to determine how many officers and what kind of precautions to take.
Anyone else? With that, I want to open the public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to speak on this?
Yes, sir.
Resolution.
Just briefly. I love what he stated, reference to pointing out, I don't know if he verified it, I'm assuming it was 1 inch, or it's 1.5. Yes. Me, previously working many years in different facets in areas of construction, I'll tell you right now, it's a real thing. Greed. They say they're gonna put 1.5 inches, and they put 1 inch. That extra inch and a half inch over so many hundreds of square feet, that amounts to a lot of dollars in the pocket. I commend that man for bringing that up. And here's a solution if I missed it while I was sitting down, because I did chat with Miss in the corner and met a secret before we met to work. All right, sorry. For the wrong. Is maybe someone like, you could, maybe Tony Miguel could go up there and spot check them. Someone, employee, to verify checks and balances. Absolutely great. Because we need checks and balances because, I'm sorry, greed's a real thing.
Thank you. Anyone else? If I may, sir, I forgot to mention something. So in the memo, under the lighting failure, restore, and fine, I said that the clause was kept mostly the same. In sub A, for the new proposed ordinance, the fine was actually changed to $500. And that was just to keep uniformity with other municipalities in Rhode Island. So, just wanted to bring it to your attention.
With that, anyone else in the public? Public hearing closed.
I would like to, again, repeat my concern about the road that we have been seeing. I'm really concerned about it, and I am frustrated by the job they perform. Whether it's Caldi or whoever company was, they did a good job, they didn't do a good job. And from Illinois up to Broad Street, there was no 1 inch anywhere. I measured it, I was looking at it, I got pictures, and I have seen a lot of road cracking already. Like Dickinson Avenue looks like a 5 years old road, it's only 9 months. So do is Chalmers Street and Arrow, they got a big crack in there, I got pictures, and I really brought that concern to Betul Chief and to many people, and I haven't having a proper answer yet.
Thank you. Motion by Councilman Rivera, second by Councilman Costa to approve. Roll call up. Correct. You're approving the substitute, correct? Correct? Council?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Terry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Zay?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano? Councilman Terry?
Mr. Chairman, we need another motion to approve as amended.
Yes.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Rivera to approve as amended, yes, second by Councilman Figueroa and Councilwoman Fonseca. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, again, roll call vote.
Councilman Terry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta? Councilman Figueroa? Councilman Fonseca? Councilman Zay? Councilman Rivera? Councilman Solano? An ordinance amending chapter 36, traffic and vehicles.
First reading.
Chairman, due to the lateness of the hour, I have comments, but I move to approve and discuss it at the next hearing.
We are on the stating and discussing further, second reading. Motion by Councilman Rivera to approve. Second by Councilwoman Rivera and Councilwoman Fonseca. Any discussion?
I just want to throw it out there so you guys can mull it over. I was wondering particularly about car enthusiasts, people who have a car on their property that they use as parts or that they're fixing up and things like that. I think some of this language here might prohibit someone who's on their private property to do that. So plant that seed, hopefully we can talk about it with one.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Councilman Terry?
Yes.
Councilman Acosta?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa? Councilwoman Fonseca? Councilman Zay?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rivera? Councilman Solano? Motion carries. Resolution of the Falls City Council for the 06, congratulations, that the list was submitted by Councilman Mezia, and now it's just the names out loud. Gregory Nazarian, Louise Najar, Sigir, Noelia Peltier, Arlene Peltier-Ramillo, Daniel Barron, Kenny Matuk, Thomas Cerrone, Mary Exis, Robert Hywers, Eva Robot, Rose Corey, Rose Louise Bennett Lewis, Joseph Sharkey, Maria Cerulli, Layla Charette, Gloria Solomon, John Hajar, Suzanne Maven, Reverend Adrian George DeVosh, Joseph Rabbit, Patricia Paglia, Louis Slemon, Gayman Hannah, Joan Lazar, Louis Lisa, Thomas Pearson, Rita Carney, and Paul Haddad.
Do we have a moment of silence for these names that were just read? Thank you.
Motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Motion is second to approve resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Nays, ayes have it. Any other good welfare? Good welfare. Okay, Maria?
I want to congratulate the Cape Verdean Association for their independence party listing that they had to the point. It's really nice, really well organized. And I also want to announce that on the 23rd of July, we'll be celebrating the Constitution of Puerto Rico State House for the first time between 3:30 and 6 o'clock. There will be food, a live band, and you guys are all welcome to come.
Salsa.
There will be salsa, we have a band too.
I do want to congratulate also President Perry for the organized the tour in the tower here, which is great. It was great. It was great turnout. People were happy, and definitely something that I was very happy to be in. And also I do want to congratulate the city itself for the raising of the flag on July 3rd, which was a good resolution. It was great turnout as well. A lot of cheers and a lot of kids. It was very nice. Congratulations.
Did you like the news?
I love it.
Good and welfare,
Good welfare, Mr. Chairman. I've been contacted by a number of people in Ward 5, and there was commenting today regarding fireworks and disturbances after, late hours of the evening. I just pointed that out, and then okay, request to look, we're supposed to look into strengthening the disturbance ordinances regarding the nuisance of loud noise or public disturbance, Mr. Chairman. But I received a number of complaints, late night fireworks.
They actually, all the residents, they gotta get on the phone. And I know it's hard. It's difficult to turn in, perhaps someone across the street, it's very difficult. Sometimes you have to do it if it gets really out of hand.
One other thing, and I just bring it up for discussion in the future. I would like to meet with the CEO, the operators of the Blackstone Valley charter schools regarding parking of buses and picking up and dropping off the kids at the former St. Elizabeth Innocent Academy. I'm not sure the official name of the school there now, but the number of complaints I've received from residents and
It is, if you can request a meeting with the executive director yourself, that said, they do have a lease agreement with the church that allows them to use that money.
I mean the street, picking up and dropping off of the street.
Is it a closure of Google in welfare?
Yes.
In welfare?
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Trustee Member Council. Wow, woman, thank you very much for your patience once again. We're running over time.
Thank you. I heard you from enthusiasts. It's late, I'm a little bit.